Hey, what's going on, guys? How are your meatballs? Call of Duty 2023 Modern Warfare 3 will feature a zombies mode that is allegedly, and don't click off the video after I say this because I understand where you're coming from and I don't like it either, will be Outbreak 2.0. Now, I don't think it's all bad though. Again, to confirm what I'm saying, the next Call of Duty, allegedly according to leaks, will include a zombies mode, and it's going to be some kind of zombies mode similar to Outbreak, called an Outbreak 2.0, and it's supposed to be called Modern Warfare 3. Now, this is according to Insider Gaming and Tom Henderson and some stuff noted by Jason Schreier last year. But overall, the people that have been working on this article and that have been releasing information pertaining to this next Call of Duty game have been reputable and right in the past. They have not been wrong about a lot at all, if ever. But that now leads us to say, what the heck is going on here? Modern Warfare finally getting a zombies mode. That's kind of awesome. And to be honest with you, I agree and disagree. But really quickly, I just want to go into what it says in this article. It's a very small article. I'll leave it down below, linked in the description. It just says, for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, several sources have said that the mode is essentially an Outbreak 2.0. It's understood that Activision is currently weighing the possibilities on if the mode should be part of the premium title or not, or if it makes more sense for the mode to be a free-to-play experience. So the reason why I read that is because there's a lot of different routes this can take. Initially, I thought there would be zombies in this game, but it would be to the type of Vanguard zombies, meaning, you know, a zombies mode, something pretty boring, but still something to play, not nothing like we have right now. We have something of substance to play. Even though it's barely anything, it's still something. Something is better than nothing. However, it seems that they're taking a much more aggressive approach and taking on Outbreak 2.0, which begs a lot of questions. I thought Treyarch was working on Outbreak 2.0. If Treyarch is working on Outbreak 2.0, then how come this is being developed by Sledgehammer? And that's the other thing. Do we really know that it's being developed by Sledgehammer? Not the Call of Duty itself, because that's pretty much happening, that this will be a Sledgehammer Call of Duty. But we already also know that all the developers are working on all Call of Duties at all points in time, just to different degrees, meaning that this year's Call of Duty was an Infinity Ward Call of Duty, I think. Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. All the studios are working on all the CODs, that it's just starting to get confusing now. But yeah, COD 2023 Modern Warfare 2 is an Infinity Ward Call of Duty, but at the same time, they are receiving a report from various other studios in the Call of Duty realm. So moving forward, it's also been reported that this Call of Duty is supposed to take that and amplify it to the max. We've already heard of this in the past. We already know that in other Call of Duties that we all know and love, like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and even Cold War, right? That some people love, is that we see these side support studios working on certain modes, and even as Extreme and Cold War, we have the campaign being worked on exclusively by another mode. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it was Raven Software pretty much exclusively made the campaign from Cold War, and Treyarch worked on the zombies and multiplayer. And that's a pretty cool formula to have, and that's something that you'd kind of, in a way, want out of a studio. You definitely want them making their entire own game. This way, each game has a unique feel when you go from a Treyarch to Infinity Ward to a Sledgehammer. But at the same time, it also keeps it grounded to the point where not one game will be good and not one game will be bad, or at least that's the hope. So moving forward, that's kind of like their take on it, that they're going to have all studios working on all Call of Duties at the same time to have as much support and as many people on the games as possible. And hopefully in the future, what this means is that we'll have more completed and rounded products, like somehow we had in the past with less people working on it. But I don't know. I digress. But yeah, Outbreak 2.0. My whole point on this is that Outbreak 2.0 is allegedly supposed to be the next zombies mode coming to the game, meaning that this zombies mode probably won't be a boring one, at least to the capacity of a Vanguard zombies, right? Because Outbreak in Cold War, although I didn't like it and I thought they failed miserably on so many ends, I thought it definitely was a success for a separate side mode. And I don't care what the player numbers say, they were bullshit, they were skewed. I don't buy the player numbers, especially during a COVID year. I just don't buy that those numbers are what they would be if the maps in that game were like Black Ops 3 maps and just everything was in a regular situation. It was kind of like in a vacuum Cold War, if that makes any sense. And it's just, I don't know, I can't comprehend that half of the player base, or almost half of the player base, played Outbreak just as much as round base. But again, I think it goes to the maps, the quality of certain things. Either way, I still think it was a success because there were definitely lots of people playing Outbreak. I just don't think it was done to the best it could have been. So moving forward, we're thinking, okay, Treyarch has this mode, Outbreak 1, with massive amounts of potential that they didn't harness in the first Outbreak experience. It only makes sense for them to bring it back, but to make it better, to make it zombified, to include more wonder weapons, more uniqueness to this atmosphere, more Easter eggs, more side stuff to do, more enemies, maybe exclusive areas to some capacity. And so I don't know, there's just so many different things they can do, right? But that's the point, to re-explore it in the next game to its fullest capacity, because now that they see people dip their toes in the water on that, they liked it. Now Treyarch goes full-fledged, not completely taking over round base, but they go all in. But that doesn't seem to be what's going on, because Outbreak 2.0 is coming with Modern Warfare 3, which is a Sledgehammer Call of Duty. And although all Call of Duties or all Call of Duty studios are working on all Call of Duties at all times now, it's just a little odd that it would come with the Sledgehammer Call of Duty, because if you want Treyarch's Call of Duty to be the biggest and the best ever, because you're giving them an extra year to work on it and it's coming out in 2024, wouldn't it make sense to save that Outbreak that they're working on and release in 2024? I would think so. So that begs the question, is Treyarch working on Outbreak 2.0, or is this exclusively a Sledgehammer project just to hold us over? Did Treyarch initially start working on it, but they saw that the zombies community wanted some zombies, so they moved it up and made Sledgehammer take over, which I think would be a disaster. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody knows the situation right now, but I kind of gave you guys the backstory, the back situation with this, and I mean, at the very least, we have Outbreak 2.0 coming in the next Zombies game, so we know we have something of substance to a greater degree than Vanguard Zombies in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, that begs the question, okay, we have this game coming in 2023, but I was so excited for COD 2024 and Treyarch's next COD. I love Treyarch multiplayer, I love Treyarch campaigns or whatever, and most importantly, I love Treyarch Zombies. What does this mean for Treyarch Zombies in 2024? In short, we don't really know, and I have another very important thing to talk about before I end this video. I probably should have talked about it earlier, but in 2024, we don't know exactly what the deal is. We know it's going to be a Treyarch Call of Duty, we know they've had plenty of time to work on the game, and we know they're going full and hard at multiplayer and zombies. But the thing is that we don't know exactly what the zombies mode will entail. I initially thought that it would be Outbreak and round-based because of what I talked about before, but apparently that isn't going to be the case, unless, again, this Outbreak 2.0 mode is actually the slot between 1 and Outbreak 3, and Sledgehammer is exclusively making Outbreak 2, leaving Treyarch to make their own Outbreak type of mode with their round-based. That could also make sense too. So just to clarify, we had Cold War Zombies, then Sledgehammer makes Outbreak 2 for Modern Warfare 3, and then in the next Call of Duty, just say Black Ops 38, whatever the name of it's going to be, right? We have Treyarch working on their own Outbreak mode and on round-based. That could be the case, or again, it could be a situation where it's just such a dry period for zombies and Call of Duty in general that they need to get something for zombies out there, and as such, they have moved the Outbreak mode up from the slotted release of next year in 2024 to the release of this year, which is very insane to even think that that's a possibility, to move it up an entire year. And if that actually is the case, it's going to be scary, because I don't know how this is going to happen, but I'm sure that they're going to take care of it, and then again, at the very least, even if the mode sucks like Vanguard Zombies did, no offense to the developers in that mode, I think for what they had and for what they were doing, they did a decent job, and I very much enjoyed Shinonuma Reborn. But even if the mode is not that great and it's the capacity of a Vanguard Zombies, I do think that we'll be alright, because we have something to play and hold us over until the middle of next year, in which we'll then get an announcement and an eventual release for Call of Duty 24, which will have an insane zombies mode, considering the amount of time and the amount of resources going to each game. Again, it could be as simple as this year Treyarch is also assisting with, and again, they absolutely are, it just depends on to what degree, but it could be that Treyarch is assisting with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and that they are providing their part by literally just making the zombies mode. And I hope that's not the case. I really hope it's not, because in Vanguard Zombies, at the very least, it was a separate zombies team. That's why I just said what I said about the team and to the team. Not that they're listening to this, but that's why I said what I said. It wasn't the real zombies team working on it. It was a side, kind of like different collection of developers and people in the kind of like Treyarch studio working on Vanguard Zombies. So all things considered, that they're working on a new engine and a lot of different things, they didn't really do that bad of a job. Like, I respect it. I really do. But if you're telling me Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is going to partially ruin COD 2024 because they ripped the Outbreak mode from COD 2024 and brought it to Modern Warfare 3, that's going to be a little saddening to me. But hey, as long as the round-based mode, real zombies, round-based, real zombies, just had to put that out there. As long as that mode is good, I could care less about anything else in the world. Hopefully, at the very least, Outbreak 2.0 is fun, and we're good to go. Now, the last thing I want to touch on real quick is just the free-to-play aspect. And the reason why I'm doing this at the end of the video is because I'm going to make a separate video about this. They are allegedly deciding whether or not they're going to choose between releasing this as part of Modern Warfare 3, or if they're just going to release it separately as its own exclusive thing. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if this is going to happen. I know that this is a rumor or a leak from reputable people in the community, but I just find it hard to wrap my head around, as I explained multiple times in this video, how Outbreak 2.0 is being done and brought this year, whereas we were expecting it to come next year. So I don't know. There could be something going on with that, something more unique for zombies, and that could be why. Again, there's a lot of different things that could possibly be going on behind the scenes. So I really don't know if this is going to actually come to fruition. It should be coming, because Charlie Intel even reported on it as well, citing Insider Gaming as a source, but they usually don't report on stuff they think it's false or know is false. So I don't know. I'm guessing guessing that this is true and that it will be coming because of the reputation of the people releasing this information, but it's just very peculiar to see all of this. And whether or not it's free to play, we don't know. I think that's an interesting idea to explore. I wouldn't start a free to play zombies mode with Outbreak 2.0, but I like that idea, and I'm going to talk about that more in another video, like I said. But it is possible that this mode goes free to play and that you will not have to buy Modern Warfare 2 to even play Outbreak, which would be absolutely massive for Call of Duty Zombies, and maybe going forward to the future with Treyarch's next game, if they were to incorporate some kind of free to play aspect to it or something to that capacity, oh boy, would that be amazing. But that's pretty much it for this video. I talked about kind of like the Call of Duty realm and how all the studios work on all the Call of Duties. I talked about Outbreak 1.0, Outbreak 2.0, the successes, the failures, and we just generally talked about how this could all possibly happen and when it's going to possibly happen. Again, in conclusion, we don't really know anything about the game yet. Nothing's officially confirmed. Stuff is subject to change, but we're getting very close to the release window of this COD, which means that anything leaked now, for the most part, unless this information is very old and just being released now, anything we're starting to hear now should be pretty accurate and correct into what we're actually going to be getting for the real game. So again, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is the name of the game. It's expected to have a campaign, a multiplayer led by Sledgehammer Games, and an Outbreak, some kind of Outbreak 2.0-ish zombies mode to some capacity, developed by somebody. We don't even know who's developing it for sure. But at the very least, we do know that we're getting zombies this year. And for the exact details and specifics and all the stuff that we actually really do care about, we'll have to wait and see until the official announcements or more leaks come out. But yeah, that's it, guys. This has been my first video back after a while. I'm very happy to be going and back again. Let's get those EV plays all moving. All right, take care of me, boys. Peace.
I've been wishing for some better days. Could you listen? No, why can you stay?